Guess what, guys? We got it all done. We got all the stones put in there. Now, I need to figure out how to finish it off up here to make it long enough for a nice necklace. So I am going to go think on that for a few minutes and I will be right back. Hello, welcome back. Now we're going to get this necklace finished. I did some tinkering and tried some experiments, and I think I finally figured out what I want to do. So we are going to be using these two beads. These are 4mm gray bicone, and these are like a deep purple rondelle. They were the only two colors that I came up with that I really liked. So guys, here is what we're going to do. First things first, I had to take off one of the ends off of the necklace right here. I just disconnected the jump ring and took it off, and then I'll use the same jump ring to put it back on when we're done. Let me move this out of the way a little bit. Put this off to the side. What we are going to be using to do the rest of this necklace with is some crimp beads. Dump them out here. They seem to be magnetic. Those are crimp beads, 2mm. And then these are crimp bead covers. And I'll be showing you how to put these all on, of course, and show you how it all works. Then I am going to use some leftover 49 strand wire. I was going to use the regular beading thread, wildfire or fireline, but then I picked the necklace up and I was thinking, boy, that's got an awful lot of weight to it, so we better do something that's able to carry the weight with it. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is I am going to run my wire through this hole right here. I'm just going to run it up through there. But first, I have to pick up a crimp bead. Okay, now I'm going to run it through this hole. Okay, then I'm going to turn it around. I need to do this from the other direction. I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to slide this end back through the crimp bead so that the wire is side by side, like so. It's kind of hard to see, but it's side by side. Okay, then I'm going to slide the crimp bead down close to the loop. You can slide it down as close as you want to, like so. Then I'm going to make sure that my wires inside of the crimp bead are side by side. Then I'm going to take this tool. It is called a crimp pliers. And what I'm going to do is, it's really hard to see, I'm sure, but there is notches that you use to crimp it. So the first one that you use is the one closest to the plier. Then you use this last one on the end here to finish off the crimping. So I will show you how I'm going to do this. So my wires, again, making sure that they're side by side. Slide it down there kind of tight, but I still want a little movement. You know, I don't want it. Then I'm going to put it in the first notch closest to me, and I'm going to squeeze, and it makes it flat. Now I'm going to turn it 90 degrees, and I'm going to put the end in the end notch furthest away from me, and I am going to squeeze, just like so. Then I'm going to rotate it again, and I am going to squeeze again. And that's all you do, is just go around and you squeeze it. Then you pull on your item and your wire, and it's snug. It's really not going anywhere. Now we are going to play with a new tool that I got, and it's called a crimp cover pliers. I haven't used these before. I just bought them, so we are going to experiment together here. So the crimp cover looks like a donut with a bite out of it. That's the best way I can describe it. Let me grab this wire, maybe I can show you guys. See the donut, and there's a hole, and somebody took a bite out of it. We're going to slide our crimp bead into this little hole, and then the pliers is going to squeeze this closed, and it will cover up our crimp bead so we don't see it. So here's how we do this. We're going to put our crimp bead, maybe, like I said, I haven't used this tool before. Maybe it'd be easier to pick it up like this. Yeah, that might be easier. Then we're gonna slide our crimp bead into the center, and we are going to squeeze. Whoops, well, that didn't work. Okay, try this again. Maybe I need to slide it on the crimp bead first. Make sure it's all in there and encased. Yep. Okay. Oh, I have a heck of a time hanging on to these little covers. They don't like me. And did I get it all in there? Sure looks like it. And take our crimp pliers. I'm going to try from this angle. And squeeze. Oh! It worked! It worked! Look at that! Yay! Yahoo! We got it! Okay, now that we got our wire attached to our end, and please excuse the birds in the background. It's about feeding time, and they're, you know, like little kids. They want fed on time. Don't be a minute late. So I'm going to take a 4mm gray bicone, and I'm going to string it on my wire. When I do that, my tail thread from my wire, I'm also going to feed it through that bicone, like so. Then I'm going to pick up the purple rondelle, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to slide it down, and then I'm going to slide the tail thread also up through the rondelle, like so. Now some people do this, some people don't. It's just all preference. I like to do that. I don't like to cut like a short wire tail. I'm afraid that you know, somebody will get poked. Whoops. Somebody will get poked, or I'll get poked, or you know, we don't want anyone to get hurt. So this is the 4mm gray bicone going right over both of the wires. We're going to pick up a purple one on our wire, slide it down, slide it over, and I think that's, oh, we could get a bicone over that. So pick up another gray 4mm bicone, slide it down. Oh, I was looking for it and it was already there. And slide it over. And that's, I'm going to keep repeating that until I get pretty close to the length that I think I want. Now this is going to be the ends for the clasp, and I am going to be using a button. I looked through all my stuff. I'm a new beader, so I don't have a lot of supplies. I'm new, and it takes time to build up what they call your stash. And I'm just alternating between the purple rondelles and the 4mm gray bicones until I get to close to what I'm wanting. Your desired length of the necklace is up to each person. Everybody has different likes. Some people like them shorter, some people like them longer. I'm not really particular. I just put on what I feel like, and then I call it good. Okay. I'm thinking one more. And one more of these. Now we are going to make sure everything's down there. See how that turned out? I think it's really, really pretty. I don't know if you can see the purple. It's really pretty. So to finish this off, we have to create a loop that is going to go around the button that I'm going to use as the closure. So now what do we want to use? Let me look in my beads, and let me see if I can find something that we could use, and I'll be right back. Okay, I found some purple seed beads. They're size 11, and I am going to use that to make my loop. So the first thing I have to do, try to keep them separated here. First thing I need to do is put on my other crimp bead. Then I'm going to pick up, we'll pick up, say 20. There's 4. Then what we're going to do here is we are going to take our button and we're going to hold on to it, and we are going to check to see if it will go around the button so that we can fasten it. Here's what we'll do. We'll lay it down, face down, and we are going to loop this around. I'm going to say we have to put on quite a few more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's pull this down. Here's what I'm going to do to excuse me, to actually test it. So I'm going to run the end of my wire back through my crimp bead, and I am going to pull this all down, and I'm going to pull this all snug, make sure everything is snug on my wire, no gaps. And then, I think we need to add about 10 more. So I'm going to slide it back out. Make sure I slide the right end. Okay. 1, 2, these guys out of the way. 3, 4. 3 more. Again, I apologize for the screaming bird. Oh, you think that she was being abused in there. Okay, I think we're good on that. So now we are going to, again, take our end, get everything back down here, kind of hold this tight, and we are going to take this end and we're going to slide it down as far, oh, we need to fix this, don't we? Let's get our little tip back in there, our tail thread. Get everything back on there. There we go. And we're going to slide this down through a few of these beads. And then we're going to pull the end tight. Definitely don't want any loops. Ah, come on now. Ah, what the heck? What's going on here? Okay, there we go. And that little bugger slid out again. I'm just going to trim him off. I'll just trim him off. And there is our loop. Our button fits through it great. So now we can, I'm going to pull a little slack. Just a little bit. So we have a little bit of wiggle room. Oh, good. My wire is side by side. Again, using the slot closest to me. Set that in there. Careful not to get your seed beads. Make sure everything's tight still. And squeeze. Then turn it and use the slot further away from us and get a hold of it. And we're going to squeeze and make it into a circle. Just like so. Nice. Now we're going to get our little crimp bead cover. Now that we figured out how to use that, we are going to put the little cover and fit that crimp bead in there like so. The wire is not, it's like memory wire in a way. So it's sometimes kind of hard to work with and it doesn't want to do. Okay, hold on. Let me see here. I want to get that in there. Okay, I got that. Now I got to get my tool in there. Let's see how this works. This is, like I said, this is a new tool to me. So this is a new tool and I'm still figuring it out. And I got to get my, definitely want my slot, the bitten part of my crimp, of my donut here, facing outward so I can slide that in there. There we go. Pick this up, slide it in there, slide it in there, and squeeze. Oh, we didn't do a very good job. Okay, that's things that can happen. I didn't get it down in there far enough, but I think that I can finagle it and get it down in there and re-squeeze it. Now this will happen sometimes, and let me tell you, it's a booger to get these off, these little crimp covers. And you gotta be careful not to get your seed beads, because if you do that, you'll crush them. And I got it. We did it. We did it. Okay, now this is what's called a pair of flush cutters. They're very, very sharp, and they cut very close. So what I'm going to do is I am going to run this as close as I can down to that bead and trim it off, just like so. Then this little tail piece right here, I'm going to do the same thing. Just fit my little pliers in there and get just that. Ooh, that went flying. And there we go. Now, we can lay this right here off to the side. Get ourselves all organized again here. This is the one part of beading. So now let's reattach. Let me get these guys out of the way for a second. And this button. Now that is the back side. Get ourselves all okay. We have our jump ring here that I took off. So what you do is you need 2 sets of pliers. I got these, Ben and I went to Harbor Freight, and they had these little pliers. Got a couple other ones, and they were $1. And I mean, they're perfect. They fit nice in my hand. They close good. I'm really enjoying them. But what you do is you take one and the other, one plier, and put it on there, and then you take this other plier and you put it on the other side. And when we get it on there, if I can get a hold of it, we're basically going to pull this back and close the jump ring. Right now it's in the open position. Okay, let me show you. Hopefully I'm close enough, you guys are close enough that you can see this. So there is, I've attached it onto the necklace. I'm going to slide the loop of the frame, as we called it, over one end of the jump ring. I have one end here on this end. I'm going to grab it, the other end, with these other pliers, and I'm going to hold on to it good. And then I'm going to twist. Whoa, hold on. I'm going to twist them back so it's closed just like that. Hopefully you guys seen all that. Okay, so now we need to take off the other end, because I found it's easier to take them off of the whole thing and do the ends than to leave it on. It's just okay. Here's how you open one. So you find the little split. They're called split rings, jump rings. You find that, put your pliers on one side, put your other pliers on the other side. Don't get and you just twist. These are not like it's kind of tight, just like that. Now it's open. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slide this end off and lay the other end to the side. And I am going to go ahead and add a wire just like I did before, and when I get down to adding the button, I will come back so I can show you how I'm going to add the button. Okay guys, I'll be back. Okay, I got my beads strung on my wire. I slid on my crimp bead. And now what I'm going to do is take my button. I'm going to feed my wire through the hole of the button. And then I am going to feed the wire, the end of the wire, back through the crimp bead and slide it down a little bit. Feed it through some beads there. That's good. Slide everything down. Now you don't want your loop too tight. You don't want your loop too tight for your button end because you want it to be able to move freely, but we definitely can take some of that slack out because we want it to be able to turn. That looks good to me. We're going to slide our beads down, make sure that they're good. And pull a little bit more slack. This is the fun part. Pull that down, slide the beads down. There we go. I think that looks good. And it can still move freely. Okay, I'm going to have to pick this up so I can see which way my wires are going. Again, you want them side by side, just like that. You want them side by side in your crimp bead. Before you grab your crimp tool, and again, using the first slot on the left here closest to me, slide it on there. Get your crimp bead in that slot. Looks good. And squeeze. Then turn your crimp tool and go in the slot at the very end and squeeze. Just squeeze it tight. And test it. Oh yeah, that's good and tight. Then we are going to, where'd our other crimp bead cover go to? I know it's here somewhere. Where'd it go? Okay. Put that off to the side. Then we're going to take our crimp. We're going to try it this way. There it is. Our slot is facing out. Not sure if you can see that. Then we're going to slide our crimp bead down into that slot, making sure to just get the crimp bead and squeeze. Oops, didn't get quite on there. You know what? I'm just going to use my old plain old plier, needle nose. For some reason that one's just not working right like I would like. Okay, let's use, whoops, I don't know what Ellie's barking about. Again, make it sure that the crimp bead is down in there. Just squeeze tight. Then I'm going to try this and put it in there and squeeze it. Make it tight. There we go. Now we are going to cut off with our little flush colors our tail thread, which is down here, as close as we can to that bead. And then, just like that. Okay, throw that away. Now we can attach this back to our, let me clean up these, excuse my reach. Let me clean up these little seed beads over here and put them off to the side. Okay, here's our jump ring. Now we need our two little sets of pliers. We're going to pick up the jump ring, put it on one end of the there. Slide it over this end. Had the wrong slide picked up, I think. Slide our loop over, kind of twist it so it gets on there. Now we can grab it, grab our jump ring very carefully. Our other set of pliers and grab the other side. And then we're going to twist it closed. Just like that. Now, when you do jump rings, you don't want to go like put it, if it's a little bit of a gap, you don't want to squeeze the jump ring like this. You don't want to do that. You just want to twist, do your connection, and then twist them back and make sure that both ends meet, and you're good. And guess what? We are all done. We are all finished with our necklace. And it is complete. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching my first beading video. I was nervous. I can't fib. I was nervous, but I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. And I'm really, really happy that you joined me in making this and taking the time to watch my video. We love you guys here at the B&B Homestead. We really appreciate all your input, your comments. And if you haven't subscribed, please take a second and subscribe and hit that little ringy dingy, also known as the notification bell. And the next video that will be coming up will be the earrings to match this necklace. So I can't wait to get that started and with you guys and see how they turn out. Hopefully they'll be just as beautiful as this necklace is. Thank you again, guys.